Hi, welcome to the last day of week 4, where we focus on UX and design. On the first day we had an introduction in UX and design. The second day we looked at accessibility and mobile, and today we'll be looking at navigation and media. Navigation focuses on where your user should go on your website, how they will move around while they are on your domain. It's a very important thing to think about because your user comes to your website and you have maybe one shot at having them do something. So depending on what you want your user to do, you should focus on that. For example, if you want your user to read your blog posts, then your blog should be very easy to find on your website, and your user should be able to start reading straight away. If you want to sell them something, then you should make it as easy as possible for your visitor to add a product to the cart and to go to the checkout. Maybe you want them to sign up for an event. In that case, you should have a sign up button somewhere. It's important to think about that and to let that action stand out. We've done that. I've shown that yesterday with the WooCommerce website. The first thing that stands out if you look at the website is a button to look at our extensions. That's because we want to sell those. So that's the first thing we want to point our users to. When you're busy designing, you have to think about those items. What is the thing you want them to do? The second thing is that you also want to give them easy access to navigating to other pages or other sections of your website. And that's why you often will use a menu or a navigation bar. And it's tempting to put everything in there, but research has shown that it's best to limit it to from 5 to 9 items at the top level, with 7 probably being the best maximum. So let's try that. If you have your WordPress site in front of you, then you can click on Customize, and when you do that, you will see the customizer, and one of the items there is menus. I'm using the 2017 theme now, which is a theme that comes for free with WordPress. But depending on which theme you're using, it might show up at a different point, but the menus item will be there. So click on that menus item, click on Add Menu, give the name like main, and click on Create Menu. In my case, I will choose Top Menu because that's where I want it to display, and in this theme that's a section that's about here, and then I will start adding items. I want the home page to be available, I want the news page to be available, I want to have the Abouts page as well, I want the events, and as a last item in the series I want the contact page. If I then save and publish, you can see that the menu is displayed on the website. Next, it's important to think about media. First of all, should you use a slider? A slider is a thing that stands out on your website very often. It's something that people use to display images, to display different sections of the website, and it's moving images that take quite a bit of space on your website. Even though a lot of people seem to like them, research has shown that in reality they don't work. People don't click on them, they don't read them properly. So if you can't put vital information in there and they take such a prominent place in your website, you should probably not use them. If you're interested in this research, I've listed a link, and that gives a bit of a more deep explanation on what the research was done. The second one is the quality. Often you will have found an amazing image, but it'll be a too bad quality. And that's problematic because it'll look distorted, a bit blurry to people, and they will think your website is not professional. So make sure that you have high quality images. One of the things to consider there is Retina displays. A lot of computers don't have that yet, but Retina display basically requires that your images are twice the quality that other computers have it. So make sure that when you add an image that the quality is super high, and have someone that you know with a computer with Retina display test it. A third question to ask is whether your image is relevant. If I go back to the design of my 2017 theme, you will see that by default there's an image of a plant there. But that's not at all connected to the Girls in Tech website that I want to build. So in this case, and again this will differ from website or from theme to theme, there's a section called header image. If I click on that, I can see current header. I click on add new image, and I've already added an image that does more justice to the topic. I click select and crop. I can then crop the image, and then you'll see that this image fits in way more than the previous one. So make it relevant. It's nice for people to view images, but they shouldn't have to ask the question, how is this connected to the topic of the website? Images should support the topic of your website. They should have a connection, and you shouldn't make your visitors think about it. It should be something instinctively. Now that you've also looked into media and we've looked into these different sections, it's time to close off with your last big assignment. There's something called a UX test, which basically means that you let other people test the user experience. If you're designing the website, it's very difficult to get where the flaws are and what goes well on your website, because you're so much into it. You find it logical what the navigation is. You find the contrast not a problem because it looks good to you. And in those cases, it's good to have someone else look at it. So you've, in the previous days, decided on what the most important aspect of your website is. Make sure that that is somewhere available on your homepage. And then do a UX test. So ask 3 people that you know to have a look at your website. Do not talk to them, just tell them, I would love for you to have a look at your website, and I would love for you to give me input on that. So you look at that, it could take a few minutes, let them surf around a little bit on your website and observe them. Are they struggling? Are their eyes going to the right places? Are they clicking on the right things? And then afterwards, just ask them, how did you find the look of my website? What do you think my website is about? Where you find it easy to get to this page. For example, the contact page, if that's where you want them to go. After that, write down per person one thing that went well on your website and one thing that you should make, one change that you should make. So make sure that you learn something from it. And that's the assignment that we're expecting, that you have 3 things related to UX that are already good on your website, and based on the user test, 3 things that you would want to change in the future. And you can already start changing that. We just want to see that you've thought about these changes. That's it for the week on UX and design. We hope that this week has helped take your website to the next level. Tune in next week for some great teachings again. Ciao.